Okay, Master Mason, no. I was looking for one, trying to make sure y'all bolted in. The pump case shit gets slinging in there. Sometimes I send out tread rock that goes over to Dale and he cuts it up real good. It's burnt. I could do mine in stock. It follows the same rules, rails, stuff to the pallet. Either way, doesn't matter what's the cutoff. We got some limit theory in here. We're good. We're bolted in, man. We good. We know what it is after this point. Time rating, series, systems, timeline to do certain things. We lock back into this Jaeger. And sometimes again, the product rule is the output on, if you can't hang on, you're gonna go out the door with them pallets. It could be for the good or the better, good or the worst. Double spring and backflip off a double spring bear trap. Locked in deadfall. Just great. I love that force bar. Stanford experiment. Here's your quadrants inside of here. All these force bars is a fluid, but this one right here is you standing on the tread line. About Dale's the cutter in gravity. He's the other side of this triangle that drops off, or line that drops off the equal distance in the differential equation of these two boxes, or the equal area of the square is 2 times the length of this line. So like every time the length goes, the area is always 2 times that area or some stuff, and it's always connected to an XY system, right? That's the double spring bear trap, buddy. It's real fast. That's running treads down the rock. That's training you on the system. That's that crack read system right there. Air crane every time. Every time. You got 1 through, and you're right back to 0 in 1, hitting the sets, and that's a 0-1. That's a little different. It is, and you can send it down the line the same way. It fits the same way, little pebble, but it's not. It's not one of my treads running down there. Scrub it up nice and pretty. That's this finisher job. That's somebody coming over. That's the cutter looking at it. That's gonna. Yeah, I know. I know. As soon as that rock goes down to Dell, oh, well, you got to burn it. He's got to twist out his torch a little bit more. Dry that right off. I hear you. Dang. Choo, 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 choo. Oh, it's tough, man. G cards are hard, man, because you got big power. You have big power, big responsibility on the line in physics a lot of the time, because that physics card's a hard bar, man. It's a long way to go. That physics in the floor to what bottom line operating numbers are and putting stuff out, hold those numbers consistently based on outputs is all about that number, and you have lots of ways to look at that on the top end output. That's bolted in. Like I said, I'm missing a couple notes. I wanted to slide a few more in. A high bar, low bar, crowbar. Sharps crew, again, harassment based on the number, just running in and training guys, output on crew material. Freemasonly, I mean, as a dozer crew guy picking field rock and running stuff with just rock, we could tear that out. There are surface rocks in there to get a surface amount off of that. If you want to archaeologist that with shovels and tear down crew team, there's a way to do that, and it's going to cover serviceability time to area and footage. We're not expecting to find a Manabrachiosaurus out there, but I'll be damned if we won't. Get your Pokemon balls out, boy. Come on. Getting into what that little thing is always going to be the tread line. I'll tell you, go special forces training down to McDonald's. It's anything just as good as going down to UHS's Bellevue, staying for a couple of days. You're gonna see a lot of the same thing, a lot of the same people, a lot of the same players. And later on, it's a good camp base to kind of get good ideas on what things are and do what you need to do. But you can take that out. I mean, it's on you to reference the case study and be responsible about what X, Y, and Z are in terms of physics and sociology and how you have to apply that information. And that's the difference in harassment and physics and force. Time, mass equations, V at the top towards V at the bottom explains a better, tighter, more vivid spectrum of how this one system is based in binaries, the systems of 1 and 0 that quantify its whole state. And you have a better interpretation. You have a better idea of what the mass gravity based on that number field vector, bosonic harmonics, and your Bose-Einstein cooled supercomputer having Lorenz using Jaeger being about, all right, do we make it long or short? We cut it off here? You're doing pretty good. Mill should be fun tomorrow. I got a nice big old stack waiting for me. Half tank, a quarter tank, something like that, so that's gonna lock me up. Good bays. I got a free set, so there's gonna be stuff moving. Probably losing 45 minutes in the morning plus tank time later. So it should be good. We'll see what's on the floor, what 1-to-1 is on the outputs, inches or half inches, or how locked in and buried this thing's supposed to be. Because if I get a drop on a good 1.5 inch run, and that's the whole run, I might be able to catch it. But don't know yet. I'm just making calc. I'm just putting numbers to numbers, trying to figure out what it is, where it'll go, and how I'm standing at the end of all of it. And one day at a time. One rock, one tread. Some days I have a rookie, some days I don't. Some days I'm the rookie. Blue's the Cobra. Yeah, you said rock, buddy. So at a high perspective, most general tables that I sit at, I would tell me put me in the camp with any general. What are you not doing? Socially, economically, structurally inside of your system, you have material in terms of having problems, need of cheap, down and dirty, the most tight and sophisticated system. Well, nobody's doing it at the moment. This is a problem America's got. We got it. I mean, we got that problem. We have good people that try to do a lot about it, but it takes a top end number regardless of whose country you are, what you're doing, what information passes through, what international and I mean, at that point, give me your own fucking satellite team. I'm just going to know what's going on, and you get the hammer, right? You go pull the trigger because that's what it's about. Somebody's fucking around in my nation about what the numbers are about. I would have a unit. Either that's a fucking hitter unit you expect to have hit, or a carpentry crew you expect to have fucking hit. And I mean, there's a number on that, and that takes certain years of experience and setting up the bridge crew, the road crew with the military line and the offset, Stanford experiment and the prison modified matrixing, sociology and psychology, Stanford physics, workforce models to the adjusted number that those top end Army Corps engineers and military personnel, based on the training program, broken off smaller systems for a better dynamic, tighter unit for the workforce system, is applicated so that they can understand the training timeline inside of that and be useful for those jobs when their opportunities present themselves. Or at least the test can be standard to base some models off of that. And given the resource and open idea for students behind glass walls or timelines with guards and bars, how to make that shit happen. America. Hey, sometimes you gotta make a vote with people on the thatvote.com. You gotta do, but an 8-year-old can do it. HTT, some of them kids are blue. They just blue flame. They just sitting there burning the fucking computer down. The internet just what you can lock and load that up to do is a pretty cool thing. I mean, so you look at some of us older generations that should know that system and be able to throw that shit together. You look at a lot of these quantum physicists, gravity waves. You want to get in astrophysics or astrobiology based on the composition of demonology of this motherfucker. I'm all about it. Let's dance. Whose culture? What? Telephone, TV, the things we like to do, the work that you need to do to pay the fucking money on everything. Keep this big circle on the marble running around this big flaming fucking chainsaw. That's me. I'm on it. I got the crank. Yeah. I boss. Working the crank, man. Waiting for it, dude. Plus one, you gotta light up on the bus. Dude, I set that up for the insurance guy. What are you doing jumping on that motherfucker like that in the front? Double spring bear trap. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, but you could. Give you all the ammo you need right here today. You're about to get trained. See your Jaeger certification. I don't know about my skid steer, but this is about to get hot. No, because I want your empire. Really, honestly, if you had an MSHA, OSHA, insurance territory like that, and you walk into here, I want your whole territory, everything, all of it. Give me everything. I'm about to crack open your treasure chest and go in your coffers and get busy with it. If I could with blue, I mean, that's the game. You try to camp on that, find diversified inconsistency in a swag, intercorporated, dark matter, dark energy, well, highly coefficient, behavioral fundamental failure. You got to be technical and not be Luciferian by saying science and math. I mean, any of that other stuff, fancy and crazy as it might be. Just one bubble to another. Quantum physicist taking notes right now. Damn, that's gonna work great on my board tomorrow. Yeah, your Sigma Sum force time. Clock in. About to get hot. Got work to do. This grind. This will keep me on top of the world. This will keep the world turning, brother. Some fucking cowboy to pole and everything. Everything to plow. Hook onto the ground and you just go. Huh? Physics usually stops you. Cliff. Oh, so I'm having some fun tonight. Tomorrow's gonna be a blast. Get all the points. All of them. Every fucking one of them. My Pokeball. Catch you on the next one.